Is Caitlin Clark the biggest revolution in basketball since Michael Jordan, or the biggest pawn in a billion-dollar sneaker war? Now in the WNBA with the Indiana Fever, she's not just making history, she's caught in a high-stakes battle between Nike and Adidas. One brand wants to own her, the other claims they'll treat her better. But is Nike playing her for a fool, and is Adidas really the answer? Let's break it down. When you reach the level of fame and influence that Caitlin Clark achieved, major corporations take notice. They're eager to have you represent their brand, wear their apparel, and be the face of their products. For athletes of this caliber, these endorsement deals can be incredibly profitable. And in the realm of sports apparel, two names reign supreme: Nike with its unmistakable swoosh, and Adidas, recognized by its three iconic stripes. Both are global powerhouses, crafting gear for virtually every sport imaginable, and both wanted a piece of the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. During her time at the University of Iowa, Clark already had an endorsement deal with Nike. This was under the relatively new NIL, name, image, likeness rules, allowing college athletes to profit from their personal brand. But when she declared for the WNBA draft, the stakes escalated dramatically. Both Nike and Adidas went all in, presenting her with substantial endorsement offers. It was a competition as intense as any championship game, but played out in boardrooms rather than on the hardwood. This NIL deal with Nike, however, was more than just a typical endorsement. Clark was actively involved in Nike's Gatorade Performance Lab, a cutting-edge facility where she contributed to the testing and development of new sports performance products with a particular focus on hydration and recovery. This hands-on involvement demonstrated Nike's early recognition of Clark's potential, not just as an athlete, but as a valuable partner in innovation. Clark also starred in a State Farm commercial alongside NBA great Jimmy Butler, further cementing her status as a rising star with significant endorsement potential. But what factors do these multi-billion-dollar companies consider when deciding which athletes to sign, and how do they calculate the potential return on their investment? Keep watching to find out. While playing for the Hawkeyes, she wore Nike shoes and apparel, thanks to that NIL deal. But the WNBA was a whole new ballgame. Both Nike and Adidas were courting her, offering her significant sums to wear their gear. Nike, her existing partner, reportedly offered her a massive new contract, a deal worth a staggering $28 million. And this included a major perk: a signature shoe designed specifically for her. A signature shoe is a huge honor in the sports world, a symbol of an athlete's elite status and marketability. But Adidas wasn't backing down. They reportedly put a $6 million deal on the table, also promising a signature shoe. But then, an unexpected turn of events took place, something that would change the course of her value in the world of sports by a huge margin. Even after signing this massive deal with Nike, even after her record-breaking college career and the massive surge in WNBA viewership she helped generate, something was missing. Nike's marketing campaigns were strangely devoid of Caitlin Clark's presence. Now, just a minute before we move on, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on another exclusive video on this channel. You know, safety check. To this point, Clark has ultimately opted to stay with Nike, sealing a massive $28 million deal. Everyone's expectation? Her face everywhere, towering on billboards, headlining commercials, and serving as the unmistakable centerpiece of Nike's marketing juggernaut. But that's not what happened. Weeks turned into months, yet the WNBA's newest star was nowhere to be seen in Nike's campaigns. The silence was deafening. Online, a storm of questions began to brew. Where are the Caitlin Clark commercials, they asked. Why isn't Nike leveraging her popularity? Some expressed confusion, others outright anger. They felt Nike was squandering a golden opportunity. Clark was driving up WNBA attendance and TV ratings, and merchandise was flying off the shelves. It seemed illogical not to capitalize on her star power. Adding to the mystery was the missing signature shoe. As the season progressed, there was no sign, no announcement, not even a hint of a release date. While the creation of a signature shoe is a complex process, often taking 12 to 18 months, involving extensive design, testing, manufacturing, and marketing phases, the lack of any announcement fueled a lot of questions around the internet. Considering that Clark's deal with Nike was finalized in late April, a release during the 2024 WNBA season was always a highly ambitious, if not improbable, goal. It's more reasonable that Nike strategically targeted a release window coinciding with either the 2024 Paris Olympics or the start of the 2024-2025 NCAA and NBA seasons. This would allow them to capitalize on major basketball events and generate maximum buzz around the launch. Furthermore, leaked reports confirmed that Clark was already actively involved in secret testing sessions, providing feedback on prototypes of her signature shoe at Nike's headquarters even before the WNBA season commenced. This behind-the-scenes activity confirms that the development process was well underway, despite the absence of a public announcement. But what are the logistical complexities behind designing and launching a signature shoe? And how do marketing considerations factor into the timing of its release? Stick around to the end to find out. But then, a bombshell report ignited a firestorm, suggesting that Nike was prioritizing the release of a signature shoe for another WNBA star, A'ja Wilson. Wilson, a two-time league MVP and an established star, was also due to have her own shoe. The report, citing sports business reporter Ethan Strauss, claimed that Nike was hesitant to give a rookie a signature shoe before a veteran MVP. This explanation ignited a firestorm online. Some fans were furious, arguing that Clark's popularity and impact on the game required immediate recognition. They felt she deserved her shoe without delay. The online discourse unfortunately took an ugly turn in some corners, with negative comments directed at the WNBA and even A'ja Wilson herself. It's crucial to emphasize that these were online discussions, not necessarily reflective of the broader public sentiment. We don't have definitive proof of Nike's internal reasoning regarding their marketing strategy or the shoe release timeline. Now, within this controversy, Adidas made a subtle but noteworthy move. Despite losing out on Clark's endorsement, they publicly acknowledged her accomplishments, congratulating her on winning Rookie of the Year. Many saw this as a genius PR move by Adidas, capitalizing on Nike's fumble. Coincidentally, news reports emerged about internal challenges at Nike. The company had recently undergone a CEO change, and their stock price had experienced a 20% decline. Some suspected whether these corporate issues were impacting their marketing decisions, perhaps even contributing to the already serious underutilization of Caitlin Clark. While it was purely an assumption, it added another layer of complexity to the unfolding narrative. These internal challenges at Nike were not just speculative. In a March 2024 earnings call, Nike's CEO John Donahoe openly acknowledged the need for the company to re-embrace its disruptive marketing heritage, clearly implying that their recent marketing strategies had perhaps lost some of their edge. This coincided with a period of significant internal restructuring. Nike had announced a major cost-cutting initiative in early 2024, aiming to save $2 billion over 3 years, a plan that included workforce reductions. These factors combined paint a picture of a company navigating a period of substantial transition, potentially influencing their marketing decisions and possibly explaining a more conservative approach to marketing expenditures, even for a high-profile athlete like Caitlin Clark. But among all the boardroom drama and online speculation, Caitlin Clark continued to do what she does best: dominate on the basketball court. She kept shattering records, kept drawing record crowds, and most importantly, kept inspiring a new generation of young female athletes. She was proving, game after game, that women's sports were a force to be reckoned with, deserving of attention, investment, and respect. The ongoing debate about her endorsements, her shoe deal, and her role as a brand ambassador only served to underscore her significance. She had transcended the realm of sports. She had become a cultural icon, a symbol of the growing power and influence of women's athletics. This entire saga ignited a broader conversation. It prompted discussions about how corporations select athletes for endorsements, how they craft marketing strategies around those athletes, and crucially, how they treat female athletes in comparison to their male counterparts. It raised questions about fairness, equity, and the often opaque world of sports marketing. Do these high-stakes endorsement deals ultimately benefit the sport as a whole, or do they create an uneven playing field, concentrating resources and attention on a select few athletes? The debate about whether Nike was adequately promoting Caitlin Clark became a major talking point in sports circles. Some argued that they were making a colossal blunder by not featuring her more prominently in their campaigns. Others speculated that there might be a long-term strategy at play, that Nike was perhaps planning a major marketing push involving Clark at a later date. And some simply didn't care about the marketing machinations. They were content to watch Clark's electrifying performances on the court. Regardless of the behind-the-scenes maneuvering, Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA was undeniable. She was a catalyst for change, driving up interest, attendance, and viewership. She was demonstrating in real time that women's basketball was just as compelling, just as marketable, and just as deserving of investment as men's basketball. Her story was still unfolding, each game adding a new chapter. And as she continued to excel, the questions surrounding her endorsements, her signature shoe, and her overall brand presence continued to simmer. The battle between Nike and Adidas for Caitlin Clark transcended a mere business transaction. It became a case study in the evolving landscape of women's sports, a reflection of the growing recognition of female athletes' marketability and cultural influence. It highlighted the power of a single individual to spark a conversation that extended far beyond the boundaries of the basketball court, a conversation that continues to this day. What are your thoughts? Did Nike make a mistake by not making Caitlin Clark the focal point of their marketing efforts from the outset? Was the delay in her signature shoe a significant misstep, or a calculated decision with justifiable reasons? And how much influence should athletes have in shaping their own brand narratives within these multi-million-dollar partnerships? Whatever the answers may be, one thing remains clear. Caitlin Clark's trajectory is one worth following closely. As for that elusive signature shoe, well, the anticipation continues to build. Only time will reveal when it finally hits the shelves. But until then, Caitlin Clark will undoubtedly continue to captivate us, both on and off the court, reminding us that the most compelling stories often unfold in the most unexpected ways, even in the seemingly predictable world of big business and professional sports. And if you want more mind-blowing insights on the world of business, check out this video, and trust me, you're gonna love it.